Presentation is the community integration of homeless population, exploring the effectiveness of permanent supportive housing. So some challenges of permanent supportive housing. Start with this quote: over half of adults living in permanent supportive housing either had a mental disorder or co-occurring mental and substance use disorder. So this contributes to a very, in terms of substance abuse, can contribute to a hazardous atmosphere. There's a high drug use and high risk of overdose from illicit drug use. It makes it difficult for people that are trying to remain sober because of people that are within their vicinity constantly offering for them to indulge in drug use with them. There's an in-program threat, which is the reminder that this is a temporary setting for them and they have to leave after 1 to 2 years of living there. There's the intense guilt that goes along with living in a place, their own place on their own, feeling like they're not worthy of it, and subsequent alienation from being alone, and just a lack of true belonging and supports from their environment, immediate, and also their friends and family outside of the environment. There's different types of homelessness: chronic, transitional, and episodic, which each have varying levels of accumulating risk factors and adverse childhood experiences, which contribute to how long each population tends to stay within permanent supportive housing. And there's also the quick turnover of helping professionals. For a number of reasons, they will leave, and that's usually their main line of support within this setting for the homeless population. So to lose them can be very debilitating. So one solution to improving community integration is a focus on the improvement of these professional helping relationships while these professionals are still there. By doing so, this can improve the relational capability and housing stability of the homeless individuals. It builds upon the skills that they learn from ACT, and CTI and their case management groups, social workers that have worked with them beforehand. Once they enter into the supportive housing center, they don't have that sense of accountability from their case management workers to make sure they're using and the skills that they've learned, interpersonal, social, and communication skills that the professional helper can help nurture by being present with them. And it's really built upon Borden's concept of the working alliance, which is agreement about tasks and goals and the nature of the bond between client and worker. So it's really comes down to a prioritization of building a bond before risk resolution. And these individuals can help facilitate smooth transitions going from homelessness into supportive housing and from supportive housing into independent housing. Here's a little stat sheet on supportive housing, how it can produce healthcare savings. There's 3 classes of housing residents based on one research study I read about. The first one is this red line here, which is sharp rise, sustained, and decline housing. Second is this blue line, which is hardly any time housed. And third is high rise, sustained, and decline housing in this green line. All these groups basically had the same perception of what counted as a good relationship with their workers. They wanted those assigned to be available when needed, able to listen, authentic, and caring, as well as to provide practical help. They sought personal connections that went beyond professional transactions. So in short, these professional helping relationships can have the role of building upon skills already learned from their case management workers and different homeless healthcare programs that have helped them gain trust in the system of getting back on their feet. Even though they don't have a therapeutic role, they can offer humanitarian acts of kindness, take the time to talk to residents, and act as an encouraging presence to them, especially in a time when they don't have any supports at all. Thank you.